Hello everyone, good morning. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you have some sunshine where you are, because I'm looking out the window and thinking, thank God it's back, because we've had the most miserable few days recently here in the East Midlands. Anyway, so welcome to this live webinar that's being organised as part of the Humber Apprenticeship Showcase, powered of course by SpringPod. So I will introduce our guests in a second, but just a few housekeeping points before we do get started. This talk should last between about 30 to 45 minutes. Don't forget to use the Q&A function, so you can ask anything you want throughout the presentation, and afterwards we're doing a Q&A. So any question, there's no such thing as a stupid question, just you can ask whatever you want. Due to the number of questions sometimes that do come through, sometimes we get tons and tons, and in those situations we can only ask the most popular ones, so just upvote questions you see that you want to have answered. And finally, don't worry if you have to leave at any point during this webinar, because we'll be recording it, and we aim to have the recording available within 24 hours so that you can watch it to your heart's content over and over. So in today's webinar, we're going to be talking about East Riding of Yorkshire Council, and joining us to do that is Anna Bennett, who you'll see that way to me. This camera's backwards, it's so confusing. Hello, Anna. And Anna is the apprenticeship coordinator. So she's going to have a little presentation, chat to us a little bit about doing apprenticeships. So Anna, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. And I can assure you that in the East Riding of Yorkshire, it is very sunny.
Wonderful news. Yes, in Nottinghamshire, we are also seeing the sun. Great, it's great times here. So I'm just going to let you get on with it, really. I might mute my microphone because I've got building work going on next door and it might be a bit distracting, but I am here, and good luck. Thank you.
Hi everyone, hope you're okay. Thanks for listening in to this presentation from East Riding of Yorkshire Council. As Esme said, I'm Anna. I look after our apprenticeship scheme. We've been running apprenticeships at the council for as long as I can remember, embarrassingly, probably as long as I've been here, which is now nearly 20 years, and I know I don't look old enough for that. Through this presentation, it's the first time I've done something like this. I'm not used to being recorded. I've got some text on another screen, so apologies if I seem to be looking away, but I'm managing that process. And first of all, I think to get us into this, I just want to show you a very, very quick video about being in at East Riding of Yorkshire Council.
Perfect. Should we turn our Love that. What a tune. It's like proper summer vibes there. Is Anna coming back? There she is.
Yeah, thank God
with the sun and the song, we just like be on holiday.
Well, it's quite good the camera's off, because I always end up dancing to that music, which is really quite sad.
I was doing the same, don't worry.
You might hear similar music in future videos. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to a slide. So just to talk about East Riding of Yorkshire Council, many people don't always think about working for their local authority, but in fact we are the largest employer in the East Riding of Yorkshire. If you're in terms of geography, we cover from Bridlington over to Goole in the west. We've got Beverley, which is sort of our main hub, but we go right out to Withensea and all the way all the coast down to Spurn Point. And then obviously we've got Hull City Council look after the city centre of Hull. So we are the very, very rural area all around Hull. In fact, 93% of our area is rural. We have over 341,000 residents, over 3,500 kilometres of roads, 150 schools, 23 libraries, and apparently 5.83 million visitors to all our leisure centres, obviously before COVID and the fact that they were closed. And we've got over 12,000 staff. And in terms of this presentation, where I'm talking about apprenticeships, You can either join the council as an apprentice, or we can use apprenticeships to progress your career. So, like I said, I've been at the council 20 years, and I did an apprenticeship a couple of years ago, and it's helped me get to where I am now. So I can fully endorse apprenticeships. In terms of moving on slides, in terms of what we do, why would you even consider working for us? Well, not many people believe that we offer such a massive range of jobs. Why would you want to work for us? Well, our job is about helping improve the lives of our residents and our businesses. And you know, part of our main role at the moment is helping people and businesses recover from the pandemic. So we provide essential facilities. We help people remain independent, particularly if they've come out of hospital, and we want to help people stay in their own homes. And we help people develop their skills. So not only do we help our own staff do that, but we have adult learning education centres. We've got all of our schools. You may well be at an East Riding school right now. And we want to keep our residents safe and fit and healthy. And there's all of the bits that wrap around that. So yes, in the media, you might see the council emptying your bins, and you might see us filling in the potholes, but it's just so much wider than that. And I can genuinely promise you, we do have the A to Z of roles. The only slight little one is X, where we have external funding officers. So that's a little bit of a play on X. But I can assure you, we've got architects, we've got building surveyors, we move into environmental health, gardeners, joiners, marketing assistants, pest control officers, swimming instructor, waste and recycling officers, and we've got our lovely zookeeper John up at Surrey Zoo near Bridlington. So if you didn't know that the East Riding of Yorkshire Council had a zoo, please visit. See the penguins being fed at 3 o'clock. I think that's either 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
I'm there. I'm going.
And to match those jobs, we try and have apprenticeships in all those same areas. They're not fully across the board. If there isn't the qualification and the apprenticeship, then obviously we can't do it. But we do our very best to have the A to Z of apprenticeships as well. And I just want to do another little short video so that you can hear from some of our apprentices and why they chose us.
Perfect.
The apprenticeship for me was a good way to join the council, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do.
The possibilities when you pass the course, you can use your experience and qualifications on other facilities, and can also open up a lot of doors.
I'm working, getting experience in the workplace, getting educated at the same time and being paid at the same time, which is always great.
To come into the apprenticeship, I knew that I wanted to do something in this line of work, so I got the qualification and the experience and to know what I wanted.
The jazzy music's back.
Not quite as jazzy as the first one.
No, maybe need to work on that one. Just get it a bit more.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on to the types of apprenticeships that we offer, and again to show you how varied. And I've tried to do as close to A to Z as I can, and that isn't all of them by all means. And every single one of them is quite different. So in terms of the actual qualifications and how they work. So for example, your teaching assistant that we have in our schools, you're entirely at your school, at the school you're working at. A tutor visits you there, they observe you in lessons, they observe you helping pupils. That's very much, you're in your day job 5 days a week and sort of learning in that role. Whereas if you look at your vehicle maintenance technician, the learners there, they'll attend college 1 day a week, and they'll learn some of the practical elements, a bit of the theory, the health and safety, obviously when you're working with vehicles, but then they go back into the workplace and practice them. And one of the advantages of our vehicle maintenance technician is, again, we've got so many vehicles and equipment at the council. So 1 minute you could be working on a lawnmower, and the next minute you could be working on a refuse cart. And I didn't appreciate how big those refuse carts are, but we've had a photo of one of our apprentices under the wheel arch, and he could stand up fully, just to show you how big that equipment is. So you can understand why in college it is good to learn the practical stuff. In terms of where they're based, they can be all over the East Riding in a range of venues. So we've got some that are entirely office-based, using a computer. You could be apprentice care assistant, and you could be providing hands-on care to someone in one of our residential homes. It could be in a leisure centre, as I said, in a classroom. And the absolute contrast to that is our site-based apprentices. So our surveying technician, they'll be out on site carrying inspections, and you could be doing some very hands-on manual work, like we've got with our sort of grounds technicians and gardeners. So even at the roadside. So again, if you're thinking of applying for them, think carefully about where you want to be. I've got to be honest, I prefer the office side of stuff and don't want to damage my nails. But if you want to be hands-on, then obviously look at that variety, or you can do the mixture. In terms of the support that we give our apprentices, you're recruited as any other member of staff. So you obviously have your immediate line manager. You'll join a team of colleagues who are there to support you along your way. You might spend time shadowing them, and you'll learn from those that probably have been apprentices themselves, and they can show you how they develop their skills. And everybody's learning. And what we might often do is introduce new staff to being managers of apprentices so that they can develop their management skills. And we also then have a dedicated apprenticeship team, which I manage, and that's to help you with any queries you've got. And obviously there's also your training provider. We use a variety, so we've got some local providers, we've got national providers, and again, you've allocated an assessor, a tutor, and they're all there to help you. So, you know, I strongly advocate the type of support that you get being an apprentice at East Riding of Yorkshire Council. In terms of progression, many of our apprentices go on to new roles at the council. We're currently at 65%, so nearly 3/4 move on. Some might be doing the similar job, so the web designer might become a fully fledged sort of web officer, and some might sort of have a slight change of career. So if you're an administrative assistant within our housing department, many have then gone on to be housing officers because they've seen the work of their colleagues, and that's actually the direction they want to go. So again, you're not necessarily setting out your stall with some of our apprenticeships. There is a chance to develop your career within. In terms of what we look for, so in terms of, you know, we've said what we can offer you in terms of what we want from our applicants. Not everything requires your maths and English. We don't necessarily say you have to have X, Y, and Z. We like to promote values and behaviours. We can teach you the skills. We just want you to have the right values and behaviours. So the vehicle technicians, again, because of the theory, that will need the maths and English. But for many, we just want your enthusiasm. We want your commitment to learn. We want someone to be a team player and can embrace change. I'm sure, obviously, you've all experienced that in the last 12 to 18 months. It's been tough for everybody, and many of our staff have had to change roles. So our leisure attendants, with the leisure centre not open, they've helped out delivering food parcels, and they've been helping with helping get medicines for people who've been shielding. So everybody's had to adapt. Everyone's had to be quite resilient. Obviously, that sort of might trigger other issues, but again, we've got that support in place to help you develop and grow in the role. And no 2 days are the same. I'm sure if I could have had an apprentice with me today, I'm sure they'd have echoed that. So I guess I want to end, it's quite cheesy, but I sort of want to say, are you in? And here's another little video.
I don't think that there's a council kind of person. I think that the council offers so many varied jobs and varied roles that there's really something for everyone.
Anything from sports management to
building surveyor,
speech and language therapists,
schools,
public health,
pest control,
social work,
lifeguard,
gym instructors,
jobs on highways.
Thousands of jobs.
For young people who want a career that's diverse and want a range of opportunities, I think the council is a great place for people to come and work.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Anna. And I again love the video. I didn't know there was be so many different roles involved with the council. So that's really interesting to know that there are so many different apprenticeships out there. It's really good and varied. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your presentation.
No problem. No problem.
We've got some time for some questions. We've had a few come through. And guys, if you are watching this, feel free to send through any questions you may have. That, you know, there's no stupid questions. So
no, please ask us anything. If I don't know the answer, I can find out. But honestly, please ask us anything.
Perfect. So someone has asked, do you have any apprenticeships available now, right now?
We do indeed. If you visit our jobs website, so that's just eastridingcouncil.jobs, we have a dedicated page to apprenticeships, and I haven't counted as of this morning, but there's a fair few, ranging from road worker to customer service assistant. We are looking for some PE and sport apprentices within our schools. I think if there's shortly we will be advertising for our vehicle maintenance technicians. We recruit annually to that role. I'm also hoping to recruit for leisure team member at one of our leisure centres. Off the top of my head, I think that's it. Yes. So yeah, perfectly timed. This is a good time of year to look for apprenticeships at the council, certainly for September start. Many of our managers like to advertise now, get through the interview process. You can then have the summer holiday to chill out, knowing that you've got a job for September.
Perfect. That's brilliant. I think I'm coming back through your mic. I don't know if you can, if that's something you can hear, but as in my voice is here, I'm hearing myself. It's stopped now. Anyway, so you've just answered the next question, which was what sort of apprenticeships are there? Someone has asked, but you've in the video and you have shown that there are lots out there. And there's also the question, can you do an apprenticeship at 16?
Yes, my understanding is as long as you are 16 and obviously completed your school time, then yes, we do have apprentices as young as 16. Yes.
Fabulous. Well, there we go. So that's all the questions we actually have through. You did such a good job, See, of talking us through it. No one has any questions left to ask. You answered them all.
Normally people might ask about the salary. I'll just throw that in there in case anybody doesn't want to ask the question. So as a council, we do pride ourselves on having sort of the genuine entry routes to our apprenticeships and paying the relative rate of pay. So to be fair, some of our apprentices start at just short of £11,000 a year, progressing right through to £16,000 a year, which, you know, might sound quite a lot, but you obviously then can join our pension scheme and start building that up. I mentioned about the training and development that is on offer throughout. Generous annual leave. You also get the bank holidays, and if you have to work over the bank holiday because that's the nature of your role, then there's loo time, and obviously we can pay for working in that. Average working week is about 37 hours. We can offer flexible working. So again, if it needs to fit around other commitments, some of our roles can do that. And basically, just please ask us questions. Through the dedicated webpage, there is a query box. There's some frequently asked questions. As you said, Esme, there is no such thing as a stupid question. We're here to help. We're here to shout about our apprenticeships because we've got a really good scheme, and I would say that.
It sounds like there's so many things you can do, and I would never have realised there's so many. So that's a great thing. And, you know, everyone loves a load of annual leave and loo days, all perfect. So thank you so much, Anna. It's been so good to hear from you. And I really hope that people watching, whether it be live or in the future, that they feel that they can, you know, they've had some questions answered in terms of applying. So thank you so much for your time and taking the time to, you know, to sit and talk to me. So that's it for this session. Thanks again, guys, for watching, taking the time to be here. We do really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoy the rest of the Humber Apprenticeship Showcase. Thank you, Anna.
Bye, everyone. Take care.